Abu Bakr,
There he is.
there you are.
Hi.
Well, the very first thing before we talk about anything, there has been just now 1 minute before I connected with you, a couple of bombings around me. Just now, explosive, massively explosive, two bombings around here. Intense hovering of warplanes hovering also, and drones are heavily buzzing over our heads. That is the same scene that we have been talking about for more than 310 days. That's just all I want to say at the beginning. And I'm very happy always to see you.
Alhamdulillah, salamtak na'iman. You have a beautiful new haircut,
Yeah,
and we're always happy to see you, Abu Bakr. And
thank you so much.
your smile and your warm spirit are something that warms our hearts, but they're
Thank you.
also in a way, they don't reveal all the reality of what's going on, because over the past week or so, and even longer, the situation in Deir al-Balah and the central Gaza has been absolutely horrifying. Abu Bakr, we always pray for your safety, but the violence has been very close to you and to your family and your
Absolutely.
community. Tell us about what's happening, what has been happening, what should people outside Gaza know?
Well, as I've told you, that the normal scene, the usual update we've been all aware of, or the way the outside world has been well aware of, is that bombings continue, casualties continue, the death toll rises on a very daily basis. War wounded people also continue to rise. That is the normal update. So let's just talk about beyond these figures and beyond these usual scenes that people have been watching uh, from their screens in peace and comfort over the past 300 days and more. Now, what we can tell you is that unfortunately, starvation is still hitting the community. We can see that young children, still queue up for some water, walk the streets long kilometers to get some liters of water, and it is not really well filtered. It is still in a way contaminated. The same thing, women. Where is the concept of a woman when a woman carries a bag of flour of more than 25 kilograms and takes it and carries it for 3 hours or so and walks for hundreds of kilometers to get it to their family? Then where are the word women to talk about the atrocities that are that our women are going through on a very daily basis? Also, at the same time, our neighbors, because my sister was the same thing. She was pregnant. Uh, my neighbor, she is pregnant, probably a 30-year-old pregnant woman. She is in her ninth month. I asked her last time and told her that, what did you eat for today? And she preferred not to answer. But her answer then in the end was absolutely shocking, because what she said really broke my heart. What she eats daily, she is pregnant. She needs absolute complete care. I'm sorry to cut that off, but there's going to be another bombing right now. The sound is very clear in the sky, so I'm gonna hold on. I'm not gonna say anything, but this is the usual scene over the past weeks, because it has been so
Abu
intense.
Bakr,
You will hear something
do
like
you
that.
need to move to a different location?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. I'm fine, but I'm just telling you that what is really going around me at the moment, because that has been the case over the past weeks. No, don't worry. Uh, this is our life in the end. So what she said was that we eat one single meal per day, and that is some stale bread. That is only some stale bread. She doesn't have any sort of sanitary conditions, good sanitary conditions, or any things, any facilities, any help that she can really deliver this baby very well. And she lives in a tent, and summer temperatures, range from 36 to 40. This is absolutely hell on earth. This is literally hell on earth. Just believe me. And regarding the bombings, there's been yesterday the naval bombardment across the Deir al-Balah Sea is absolutely insane. One fisherman, at least, who risked their lives to make a living, they don't have guns. They're not armed. They're just civilians. They're just very simple. They don't know anything about life except the sea and their boat. How on earth are they being gunned down? How on earth are they being killed on a very daily basis? At least one fisherman is killed per day by Israeli Navy. That is literally insane. Also, because we have been hearing very wildly about the news, about the story that went viral of Mohammed Abu Khamsan, whose twin baby has been killed. Already, how many times have I talked to you and talked to my or everywhere that the eastern outskirts of Deir al-Balah have been intensely bombed over the course of the past months. He was attacked the same way. An Israeli tank bomb has flattened his house, and it killed all of his entire family, including his twin baby. So there is a very, very, very intense ground, bombardment east of Deir al-Balah. There is at the same time a naval bombardment across the Deir al-Balah Sea. There is also insane level of bombardment and shelling across the south and different parts of Deir al-Balah at the same time, because there has been a variety of massacres. The videos and the records we've been filming and documenting and seeing and witnessing are absolutely beyond horrifying. I swear, I'm not really shy of saying this, but sometimes, and most of the time, the last time I remember I had a really, really good sleep, was probably like 2 months ago, because the last 2 months have been absolutely the most hellish.
What can you say about the status of people in the central area who have been displaced over and over and over again and have tried to find refuge in these central areas? What are the what's the situation inside shelters in these kind of western on the beach? Like what's the situation for people there?
It's really disastrous, beyond disastrous, because there is literally no shelter in central Gaza, because the northern parts of central Gaza, when we talk about Al Nusayrat refugee camp and Al Buraj refugee camp as well, both areas have been ordered to evacuate numerous times by the Israeli forces. And then these people come to Deir al-Balah, to the central part of Deir al-Balah, and then they don't find any places. It's just like Deir al-Balah is literally bursting at the seams. There is no single space empty for people to come, because tents are dotting along the streets. Tents are just like, people are literally canned in Deir al-Balah. How on earth, just like, you are talking about more than 1 million people now trapped in Deir al-Balah, because the southernmost areas of the strip are invaded by the Israeli occupation forces, and then where should people go? If the most horrific idea that people have been really afraid of and frightened of is that, what if Deir al-Balah will be invaded, or is invaded? Then where will we go? We should just be waiting for an inevitable death, because there's no safe place, there's no safe zone in Gaza. And yet, if Deir al-Balah is designated as a so-called safe zone by Israeli forces, then it is still not safe. We've already seen the horrific and the terrifying scenes coming out from Deir al-Balah and the massacres unfolding across Deir al-Balah in particular, because literally, as far as I know, as I'm concerned, at least over the past 2 weeks per day, we lose 5 people and tens of injuries. So the death toll, particularly in Deir al-Balah, and that is a symptom of Israel's war on Gaza. That is a symptom of Israel's brutal assault in Gaza, and that is a symptom of the words silence on the continued massacres by Israeli forces.
Abubaker, we are all, for month after month, week after week, talk of a ceasefire, talk of negotiations in Doha and Rome and Cairo. Hopes go up, then hopes are dashed. We get news that something is going to happen, and then it doesn't. And then the Israelis escalate their massacres. And once again, now we're waiting, what's going to happen in Doha on Thursday? Is Hamas going to take part? Are they not going to take part? Is the US? All this talk, and this is still going on. What I want to
Dr.
ask
Ali,
you,
go ahead.
what I want to ask you, Abubaker, is what are people around you saying about this? Do they still have any? We all desperately want a ceasefire now, a stop to this genocide now. Are people still paying attention to what's happening outside, or have
They
they
are
given
really,
up
no,
on
they
that?
haven't. We
No, I
are,
don't mean given up. I mean given up
I
on
know,
the
I understand, I
negotiation.
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I understand. But look, the very first thing that I want to tell you, it's very easy, Dr. Ali. If this war can end, it's just about one call from Biden. Call Netanyahu and tell him to stop the war seriously, and then the war ends. But what goes under the table between Netanyahu and the Tel Aviv government and the American government is what we are not aware of, is that America wants a war. America funds the genocide. America wants this war because we've already seen that the weapons used by Israel in killing us and genociding us are really American made, are really American made. So we are not saying, we're not literally like when Blinken goes up like appears in a conference and says that we are pressing for a ceasefire. We are intensifying our efforts to make sure that we are going to reach a deal very soon, an agreement for ceasefire very soon. Then he is lying absolutely, because at the same time this news comes out, what really makes us, that's the point, Dr. Ali, which is that what really makes us so sad is that the same at the same time, this kind of news goes out to us that we are pressing, that the U.S. government, the Qatari government, and the mediators are trying to press for a ceasefire to relax us of this barbarity and insanity. Then there's some news that the United States has renewed its sales to Israel, its weapons sales to Israel. That is literally disappointing. But again, believe me, what really, really makes us the most hopeful, what really, really lifts our spirits, is your support, is your continued support. As long as we don't feel we are alone, then we still have hope. But once you give it up, you give it up, because we're not going to give it up at all. We have belief in ourselves. We have belief that everything will be okay. We have belief that this is going to end. We're going to fight for our existence because it's all right. That's the essence of us. But if you have an, if you really want to give it up, then we are going to be highly affected and badly affected by what is really going on. I told you one time, all the times, like 313 days. You probably would say that Abubaker would change it some tries. No, not at all. I'm still hopeful. I'm still smiling. I'm still so pleased to talk to you. I still know that your pressure, your protest, your boycotting, and all what you do is going to pay off in the end. And that's what is going to really happen in the end, because I'm sure this is the essence of the good people who are living now on earth.
Abubaker, earlier in during the news report, I showed a picture of the photo of your niece 𝐓𝐿𝐿 that you tweeted
Yeah.
a few days ago. People are asking about her, about your other family members, and about your rose bushes. So give us some updates on your beautiful family and your garden.
Yes,
There
her
she is.
sparkling eyes. That's the most thing I've been
She's so
hearing
cute.
here from people. Yes, she's been saying like sparkling eye, long eyelashes. Like from where did they come? No, I didn't create her. Astaghfirullah, but Allah has created her. I didn't know anything. But just about, yes, 𝐓𝐿𝐿 has really, prematured. She really understands things that other people don't understand because the war has really taught us lots of things and lots of really, really, complicated and complex things. Because 𝐓𝐿𝐿, whenever a rocket falls near, she says that I told her most of the time that, are you not afraid? And she says that the rocket is dumb, the rocket is stupid. So then you're saying, what is she literally saying? She's only two. So that's this the story. She cries, but she sobs because that's the normal scene. She's a child in the end. We are afraid. We're panicked. She's panicked as well. A lot of people are panicked. My family is panicked whenever a rocket falls nearby. But then in the end, she and the other nieces and my other nieces and nephews really really get panicked because of the level of explosiveness and such in such bombardments, because it's literally hell. It's very it's inconceivable. Like I remember the last time, like yesterday, there was an attack on the sea, an airstrike on the sea area, and then it was like 10 p.m. our time, and then everybody was like was terrorized by this horrendous attack. Then what could you expect for a child like this? Then they will cry, and they will really sob because of this level of barbarity and insanity, because this level of barbarity is of the very very highest order. We cannot see anything like that. And the moment that we see that things may stop and things may get easier, then another massacre happens. And I really wrote this for the Electronic Intifada, because I don't know why Saturdays, why massacres always happen on Saturdays. We're talking about at least 8 massacres have happened on Saturday. The Saturday, the Khadija Gaza School massacre. The Saturday, at Tarin School massacre. The Saturday, Al Ahli Hospital massacre. The Saturday of October the 7th. The Saturday of Jabalia massacre. Then all of this has just happened on Saturday. What is wrong with Saturday? I'm too frightened, intimidated by really Saturday. Saturday is going to be 3 days later. What is really going to happen 3 days later? We really, really, the thing that I want to tell you is that we really, really thankful that every day we wake up, because we really, at the end of the day, we just say that we're lucky if we really wake up the next day. If we don't, then we have no other choice, because this has been the story. I honestly had a dream. My family had a dream. We had a dream that we have survived this genocide, and the happiness that really, smeared faces, the covered of faces, was really unmatched. And regarding the roses and the jasmine trees, again, jasmine trees, and the basil and the other stuff, they are really, really blooming, despite the desperate lack of water. Because I'm trying to find some water. I try to walk kilometers to just find some water and really water these plants, because they really mean to me everything. They really give me hope amid such barbarity, amid such incredibly harsh times. We're gonna wait for what is next. We're gonna have some hope. And please, to everyone listening to me, it's beyond what a human being can endure. It's beyond what a human being can imagine. What I see on the hospital, I frequently visit the hospital sometimes because of some friends and some other colleagues, etc. and some reports, but what I see inside the hospital is literally horrifying. A child with many facial burns, another child with multiple fractures in his chest, another woman, she's all pant like a roasted chicken. It's not for fun, but this is what is really happening. Also, we've seen that a mother, she's broken, and her mom and her child, like 2 year old child, is playing around her. She tries, despite her pain, she tries to give him some sort of tenderness, some sort of love, despite what she is going through. So what we see, the scene and the image right now, we can't really think about it because it has gone way, way far worse than what it really is and what it really has been. So we just hope, we pray for an end. We thank you. We see hope in you once again that this will end, and we want to see free Palestine very soon and a very, very urgent end to this ongoing genocide.
Amen to that, Abu Bakr. And before we let you go, I just want to say, on behalf of all of us who are here and who are watching, and all the people who are writing comments, that we will never give up. As long as you don't give up, we will never give up. Just before you came on, and now just we're going to go back to that topic. We're talking about the mass protests that are going to be happening in Chicago during the Democratic Party's national convention. Tens of thousands of people are going to be in the street. People are still coming out. We want that message to reach you as well, and to say to you, Abu Bakr, we love you. We are praying for you and your family and for everyone in Gaza to keep you safe, to end this now, to end it now without delay. We don't want to wait till Thursday. We want it to end now, and
Inshallah.
to see your beautiful face and smile and hear your voice without the sound of bombs in the background. This is what we're working for and praying for. And we hope we'll see you back soon. And maybe in the meantime, you'll send us some photos of your garden if you can.
Please.
I will try to do my best. Thank you so much. Just try to do your best. And I know you. I really, it's gonna be. We have the same feelings. We share the same feelings, and whom I really talking to, and I know the great audience behind listening to me, and all of them. And I've really received myself messages talking to me that we haven't seen you for a while on the EI podcast, and I told them that I could not. It's not easy circumstances at all.
Yeah.
But again, this sort of love and level of love is something that pushes me to continue despite the harsh circumstances. So again, and one time again, and all the time, hope and love from where Abubaker is and from Gaza and Deir al-Balah in particular. Bye bye. The very best.
Bye,
Thank you, Abu
Abubakar. We
Bakr.
love you.
We love you. We'll
Thank you.
see you soon.